Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. Boy, do we have a show for you guys today. The portal is alight with the rare red hue, which means it is 2x on Primals, but not just any normal 2x. It is the true 2x, meaning double chances on epics, legendaries, and mythicals, and we are going to be pulling all of my Primal shards today. But that's not the only thing to address. This is also a celebration of sorts, celebrating 1,000 subscribers on the channel. So once again, a massive shout out to all of you, my lovely viewers and subscribers. Thank you for all of the support. On top of that, I am also officially a YouTube partner, meaning that I do get some proceeds from monetization on the account from all the ads you may or may not see on my videos. So nothing changes, like I've addressed previously in the past. Nothing changes. The content's not going to change. All that's different is that I get some of the ad revenue from the ads that were already on my videos in the past. Now, as always, when it comes to these shard pull types of videos, we are never pulling without an ulterior motive. So in this case, this is also coinciding with the Fortune Deck of Fate, which I talked about in my last video, if you want more details about my opinions and thoughts on that. But the main way to acquire points for card flips is to summon champions. And so you would need a grand total of 50 primals in order to get the entire deck. I don't have 50, close to it, but I'll probably finish the rest out with Sagrids or something like that, just because we'll be so close. But I guess it kind of depends. It depends on what rewards are left and if we get all the anniversary points, because originally I had planned to skip this Deck of Fate because I thought it was going to be 2x Ancients, and Ancients are notably weak for this type of event. I think you would need like 308 Ancient shards to max out all 40 cards, and so that's ridiculous for just a 2x Ancient session. But because it's Primals, I'm more inclined to participate, which means that we will get, or we'll try to get, all the 150 of the anniversary points, Titan event points, and that will help alleviate some of the requirements for some of the other events and tournaments going on that also feature Titan event points. Hopping over to the portal, there are some more nuances to discuss for this particular pull session, but we'll kick things off with the overall shard count. 678 on the Ancients, 150 on the Voids, 45 on the Primals, which we will be most certainly dipping into today, and then 52 on the Sacreds. So in addition to the 2x on Primals, there is also the progressive chance going on right now, featuring a bunch of Poisoner champions, and for those who have followed me for any length of time already know, we are most certainly in the market for a Poison Exploder champion, so Xavi would be number 2 on my overall wanted list for legendaries. However, Bad L is number 3, so if we happen to get super lucky and get multiple legendaries, which we'll talk about the odds of that in a little bit, then I would try to get Bad L as the second one. On top of that, I do need Aishma for the Lady Mikage fusion, so getting an epic, or getting her as an epic, which is quite likely, again, as we'll discuss. And then so I need her uniquely for the Mikage fusion, and I would like a duplicate of Delaja because I have one already booked out, and I'd really like to not sacrifice the one that I booked out for not Faction Wars, but for secret Doom Tower Secret Rooms. So I'd like an extra copy of her. So if we do end up getting one of the legendaries or the epics along the way, which is again likely for the epics, then we'll swap out the epics as far as the progressive chance is concerned. Arguably, if one did not have Venomage, she would definitely be top of the list, but I do have her, and then I also happen to have Theodora and Calvulax, so I personally do not need them, so I would take any of the other 2 poisoners, namely Xavia being the primary one. So as I hinted at, there is a bit of math to consider in this instant, and so the 2x on Primals looks like this in terms of rate. So we have a 32% chance to get an epic, meaning practically speaking, it's a 1 in 3 chance. So every like 10 pop, you should on average see around 3 epics. So it's quite likely that we are going to get Aishma as well, and potentially multiple copies of her, and we should be able to flip it around and also get Delaja as well. 2% chance for a legendary, meaning that it's about a 1 in 50. So most likely, given the amount of primals that we have, 45, there is a 60, well, if I had 50, there'd be a 64% chance that we would get one legendary out of that 50. And so given that we have slightly less than 50, that percentage would drop somewhere in the 50 something percentages. So basically a coin toss, whether or not we get a legendary at all or not. And ideally, we would get 2. That would be the best case scenario. We'd get Xavia, flip it around, or change out the champions and then get Bad L. But that's grasping at straws for sure. Probably the equally likely outcome is that we just don't get any legendaries. So wouldn't bank on it, but I would love to see it happen. And of course, there's always the chance, 1% chance that we get a mythical. That's even less likelier just because it's half of the rate of the legendary. So I wouldn't expect it, but of course, if we get one, I will most certainly take it. Continuing on with the math behind this, if we hop into a spreadsheet, of course, and by the way, I don't mention it enough in my videos, but if you guys don't care about all this preamble stuff, you can feel free to skip ahead to the shard polls. I always put the timestamps in the description, and you should be able to see the chapters in the video itself, so feel free to scroll ahead if you don't care. But I like to do this because it shows some of the background behind my thinking, as well as answer a lot of the questions that I get in the comment sections. So if we're looking at the X rate calculators here, so 15X is going to be where we're starting at, and specifically on primals, and it's going to be a single one. So if I were to get a legendary, there's an 8.3% chance that that legendary would be the one we've chosen, in this case Yavia. And then if we happen to miss on her, but also get a second legendary, which we already talked about the odds of that happening, that second legendary would be a 10.8% chance of being whoever I chose, Xavia. So obviously if we get Xavia first, if we get one legendary and the first one's Xavia, then we just got lucky with the 8.3% chance. Then I would switch it to Bad L, and we'd be trying again from 8.3% chance if we get a second legendary. But the main thing to take away that I always say is that you flip this percentage around to look at the odds of it not happening, which is the most likely outcome. So even if we do get a legendary, there is a 92% chance that it's anything else but the one you selected. And even if we got a second one or second try, it's still a 90% chance that it's anything else but the one you've chosen. So don't bank on it happening, regardless of how deep you go into the progressive chance events. I've also pulled up my Mercy tracker here, which will be linked in the description box down below if you guys want a copy of this for yourself. But the main thing to note here is that we have pulled 0. So for anyone wondering, how on earth has a free-to-play player achieved 45 primals? Because I literally have pulled 0 since the inception of Primal Shards. I was waiting for there to be a true 2x, meaning as we see now, it's 2x on epics, legendaries, and mythicals, and they have had one in the past, but as I mentioned in my last video, I was out of town during that first one, and so I couldn't make a video on it, and I wanted the first primals on my account pulled to be shared with you guys. And so we waited and waited and waited, and now it is the second iteration of the true Primal 2x has come around, so we get to pull our first Primal Shards and get to see what this is going to yield. And of course, this will not be sustainable. There's no way I will be able to generate 45 between now and the next true 2x primals, whenever that may be. So this is going to be a one-off type of session. All right, so let's get to the pulls. We've got the space, we've got some cash, and hopefully we get some pretty decent luck today. Let's say above average. Let's aim high. These are primals after all. This is a one-off thing. We're just having a celebration. You know what? Let's hope for super good luck. We're going to start it off with the 5 singles, and then we are going to jump into the 4 10 pops here. So Grinner, not much to say there. Rares are unfortunate, but the most likely outcome from a primal, even during a 2x War Maiden. Good rare. Decreased defense AoE. Grinner is notably a reviver for Undead Hordes if you really need him. Judge, good for Dune Tower secret rooms, specifically like rare magic or rare attack. Base champions, Bloodbraid, not much to say about her. Although I did see a lot of people needing her or using her against Fire Knight in the Cursed City, but I'm not that far and I could care less. Beast Wrestler, not much to say about him either. So let's hop over into the 10 pops and let's see if we can really get something going here. No epics. Okay, right out of the gate we get Ashma there. Oh, and a mythical, and it's Gizmak the Terrible. This is the Calvalax of HP burn. Oh my god, double mythical. Whoa. Oh, that's massive. Oh gosh. Okay. So we've got Gizmak the Terrible, who is like the Calvalax of HP burns with the passive here. He starts every round by putting it on all enemies for 2 turns, and it can't be resisted as long as he has full crit rate, which is super strong. And then this side of his kit has a bunch of stuff that gives buffs, activates burns, stuff like that, increases duration. And then in the alternative form is where he goes DPS mode. He starts to do a bunch of damage to targets under HP burn, primarily placed by his passive on the first form, and his damage is based on HP and defense. So this ability here can place decreased defense on an AoE. It cannot be resisted if they're under HP burn, which again he will place in his passive provided he has full crit rate, and that can't be resisted either. And then he can also use Pain Link on a target enemy, meaning that it's kind of like reflect damage but supercharged, but it also puts taunt and unkillable on himself, so you have to attack him and do damage to whoever you Pain Link. And then the A1 can increase the duration of random debuffs, so that is super good. He also on his passive ignores defense, and then if they are, I guess, low HP or he's low HP, he ignores even more defense, so he can probably put out a significant amount of damage. And then of course Siegfried the Broken, the Buffed. is the pseudo mythical champion, most famous now because of the A3, which basically one shots an enemy and then kills everyone else on the screen because of how the multiplication of multipliers works with this type of ability. Check out Saf's videos, HH Gaming, for more descriptions of how exactly that works. Same thing with like Trunda's A2 and Hydra, for example. So absolutely busted, one of the best nukers in the game now, especially after the buff. But if you do hit the scenario where every champion is killed but him, and his passive prevents him from dying as well, which is completely possible, then he would go into the alt form where he becomes a support reviver, and so he can revive the entire team or revive all dead allies with block damage on everyone for 2 turns, so buying them 2 turns to do something. And then he also does a full cleanse, block debuffs, and some healing on the A1, AoE on the A1, and then he can transform back into primary form where he can go back and kill everyone if they're alive. If they didn't die from the first time you used his ability. So wow, double mythical summon on the first 10 pop, on top of getting the epic we need for the Lady Mikage fusion. Can't even complain. Not much to say honestly about the rest of the other epics. I think Oathbound is okay for Faction Wars, AoE decrease attack. Sanguinian underrated. Cool cleansing type ability as well. This ability here, it's a full cleanse, kind of a sneaky full cleanse, and then she also has block debuffs and continuous heal on all allies, so pretty useful support. But man, okay, that was absolutely unexpected. I mean, two mythicals. I was really hoping for 2 legendaries, but you know, there's still a chance. We still have 30 to go, so let's keep it going. I mean, we asked for great luck, and boy, did we get it. That is insane. Are we gonna get an all blue? Because oh my god, we get three mythicals in 25 primals. This is absolutely busted. Okay, I honestly don't know what this guy does, but I've heard like amazing things. Let's see, AoE attack fills turn meter. Okay, full cleanse, block debuffs, and turn meter fill. Super strong support ability. Full revive with block perfect veil, so kind of like a Duchess, although he doesn't fail himself. Okay, yep, fair enough. So basically a Duchess type ability, no continuous heal, and it's 50% HP, 50% turn meter versus like 75% HP and 0% turn meter, I think, what Duchess has. So super baller support, and then the alternate form I think is also super baller support, or maybe even more baller support. AoE attack, decreased turn meter, AoE attack here that can remove buffs, so a full buff strip, and then block active skills, and then he can't be counterattacked, which is kind of interesting. I think there's one other like epic champion who has that in their kit. And then increase accuracy on all allies, and then decrease resistance and a stun. So he has control as well. So revive on the main form, support, cleansing abilities, and then some control and debuffing on the alternative form. So wow, okay. Hotatsu is a pretty decent epic as well. Continuous heals, AoE decrease attack, increased defense, stuff like that. But yeah, unfortunately for me, I don't really have that many mythical tomes, so we're gonna have to be extremely selective about who actually gets to see play from the 3 mythicals that we have pulled in this session, which is absolutely crazy here. So this is more what we were expecting to see, a good amount of epics amongst here. It's Tyrell, good. Power crept in fairness, but AoE decreased defense. Durandale hits hard for an epic. Bovos, not that great. I think he's like AoE decreased crit rate or something, really underwhelming. Occult Brawler used to be like one of the kings, the best poisoners in Demon Lord's clan boss, but he's kind of been power crept as well. Baroth just doesn't really cut it. And Vogoth, one of the best like support champion, go second champions for the arena in the game, just because of his passive to heal, provided other folks are not one shot before the healing goes off from Vogoth's passive. All right, so let's end things off with the final 10 pop of the day. Wow, months and months of saving, and I honestly can't say that it wasn't worth waiting for that. I mean, this has been absolutely crazy to say the least. But epics galore here, not much so far, and I guess we just don't get a legendary at all. Okay, wow. But I mean, can I really complain with the 3 mythicals? That's insane. So honestly, Visionary, not that exciting. Tashada, I do use her for like one secret room. It's like force attack, or no, force Force champions, something like that. Force defense. There we go. Force defense champions. Jurojin, not much to say there. Yelagurna, not much to say. And Bergoth is the worse version of Volgoth, more or less. So yeah, wow, that was the craziest pull session I've ever had in the history of my entire account. And what's honestly slightly more shocking than the 3 mythicals is that despite the 25x, I did only manage to get 1 copy of Aishma there for the Lady Mikage fusion. So I'm fine with getting 1. I do like to keep a copy of all epics just in case I need them for secret rooms, or I guess more so the Cursed City nowadays. But 1 and done, I'll take it. And so we did need her for the fusion, so that is good. And no legendary. Again, somewhat surprising given the amount of mythicals that we got. But again, I cannot complain in this instance. I have no right to complain. We did walk away with 3 mythicals in 45 primals, which is way more than most people would ever think would ever happen. So, one thing I wanted to check is, like, in the tavern here, I'm pretty sure, I have like 12. I have 12 mythical tomes. So, unfortunately, I actually cannot use, like, all of them, even if I wanted to. So, I'm going to have to be very picky and choosy. Let me know in the comment section down below which one would be your first choice when it comes to this for any application. I tend to lean more on the PvE side, so I think Gizmak the Terrible is kind of catching my eye. I do like the passive HP burn and the activation and a bunch of damage on all that stuff, so that could be really cool. But yeah, we'll see. I'll have to think about that and how we're going to do it. But part 2, of course, is us dealing with the Deck of Fate. So we have 37,000 points. And honestly, considering how crazy that was, I probably need to make some space in my inventory or whatever, my champion pool or champion collection. So I'm probably going to just do champion training to get the last 2,700-ish points or whatever, and finish all the flips later. But we are at least going to do the first 37 with you guys here. So I did see a comment about a way to approach this by kind of isolating the odds based on different chunks of the cards. In this case, it breaks down pretty nicely into eighths. So let's say each row is 1 block. Then for each row, on average, assuming an even distribution, there should be 3 commons, 3 rares, and 2 epic cards. And if there's more or less in a particular row, then we can kind of react and go to a different row depending on what we see. So we'll kind of play this by ear. It is some mathematical basis, but it's also just, complete RNG at the end of the day. So we'll kind of see what we can do. But the main thing to note is that it's better to hop around between the blocks unless you know that you're coming back for a specific type of rarity, again, assuming an even distribution. So we'll start it off in the upper left. We get a common card. So we've reduced the amount of commons, assuming an even distribution, in the first row. So we should hop down to a different row to maximize the chance of getting another common. Okay, process should repeat. And so if we come here, boom, all right, you got 3 of a kind, energy. Hey, 100 gems, effectively, that is energy, so we'll take that. So now we can kind of fresh start again. Let's come back up to the top row. We get an epic, 500 energy. Okay, so how we should think about this, same thing, that if it's an even distribution, there should only be 1 more epic in this row, so it is better to switch to a different row. Nope. Okay, we hit a common. That's fine. So common means that we should probably go to one of the newer blocks because there could be up to 3. Okay, unfortunate. We hit a rare. So rare, we haven't hit a rare from any of the top ones. So we can come back up here. Okay, we hit a rare there. So now there's less likely to be a rare in this one. So we can try this block. No, we hit the epic. Bummer. Okay, so we took 1 epic out of here, 1 epic out of here. So maybe we try this one. Nope, back to the commons. Okay. Again, this is not a surefire way to guarantee anything because we don't really know where things are. We don't know if there's actually an even distribution, but it is nonetheless a way to think about it a little bit more strategically. So common here, we got 2 commons there, 2 commons there, 1 common there. So let's try a different block. Okay, another common there. Try a different block. And darn, we hit another rare. Okay, so rare here, rare here. There's a rare there. So most likely the rares would be in these 2 blocks. This one, it's probably better to check this row. Okay. So now we should probably check this row because the last one we don't have any blues in, at least not revealed. Let's check this spot here. Ooh, okay, 3 blues in a row. Legendary tome. 6-star legendary Chaosaur, close enough, I guess, maybe. Okay, fresh start. Let's see what we can get. A blue. Okay, so 2 blues in here. There should be, I guess it could be in any one. There's an equal chance it could be in any of the rows, but which one has the most chance of it being a blue? Probably this row here because of all the other flips. We hit the epic. Okay, good. Legendary tome is good. There is a mythical tome somewhere in this deck, which is also good because I just definitely need mythical tomes now. Okay, so we have 2 epics from this row, 1 in here, so that's least likely to be in one of those. So we should probably try this one. Nope, back to commons. Okay, that's cool. So this row has 3 commons flipped, meaning that it's not guaranteed, but most likely there won't be a common in this row. And the most likely one to have a common should actually be, well, it could be the bottom row, actually, yep. And then I think back to the top row because we already have 3 that are not commons. We hit a rare, darn, okay. So 3 rares here. No, 1 rare, 1 rare, 1 rare. Okay, I can't even speak. Here? Nope. Common. Okay. Common, 2 commons, 1 common, 3 commons, 2 commons, 1 common. So most likely a common up here. No. Oh, there's a bunch of rares in the top row. Unfortunate. That's the problem with assuming even distribution. Okay. We're still trying to maintain the strategy here. So blues, most likely a blue in one of these 2 rows. Nope. Common. Okay. I mean, at this point, there's really likely. Oh man, this top row is tricky. Okay, we're okay. So epic there, 2 epics here, 2 epics here, none down here. Which one has the most? 4 here. So most likely it would be in this row. Yes. Okay, and then most likely then it would be in this row. 3 epics. So close. Okay, back to commons. Let's try this one. Yep, 2 commons. This one's got to be common, right? Oh my goodness, there's only 1 in the top. Oh man. Oh wow, look at that. 5 in a row. 5 rares in a row. Okay, so that's maxed out. How many? There's 15 rares in total. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. Meaning there's still a good chunk of rares to go. There's not one in this row yet. Okay, 100 gems. We love to see it. And at this point, most likely, let's say there's 2 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Most likely it's probably in one of the bottom rows. Let's try there. Nope, common. Okay. Common, let's see, 3, 3, 3, 2. Most likely here. Nope. Am I doing this right? Or am I just getting unlucky? Maybe I'm just getting unlucky. Okay. Rares. We're kind of running out of rares now, right? Because there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's only 5 to go. So again, most likely it would be in the bottom section. It could be here, but I don't know. It can't. Well, it could be, but there's 3 there, so it's most likely not. So let's try here. Yes. Okay. And then so now there's 2 here, 1 here, 1 here. There's 1 in 3 chance on either side. Try that. Okay. Blue. Triple blue. Gems. Energy. More Chaosaur. Darn. Okay. So we're back to the beginning. Let me just double check here. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's only 3 rares left, meaning that we're most likely not going to get 3 rares in a row. That's fine. So now we want to see how many epics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have half of the epic cards and then a bunch of the commons left. So the odds of getting a triple epic are pretty decent, honestly. So let's start here because this is most likely not an epic. Okay, wrong. That is an epic, but we don't have one in either of these 2 rows. 50-50 chance here. Okay, we missed the roll. So this one might be an epic. So the most likely area for another common is either the bottom row or the middle row here. So let's try there. Nope, epic. We're going to see a lot of epics here. I just don't know if we can actually get 3 in a row. This would be the most likely epic, and it's not, unfortunate. So we're back to the rares, and so I don't remember where I was. I don't think there's enough rares in this left to actually get 3 rares in a row, but most likely they would be in this row. Nope, we're missing. Okay, so I think we're kind of screwed actually. So yeah, well, we got the mythical tome at least. Not that we're not going to get it, but I think let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 2 more epic cards, and 2 of them are here. So there is a decent chance that we could get a triple epic, but if we miss it, then I guess there's a 1 in 3 chance that we miss it. So, well, honestly, hey, that strategy worked pretty well, I would say. So shout out to the commenter suggesting that approach. It is a bit slower, a little bit more methodical, takes a lot longer. But I mean, we got a triple rare, we got 2 triple rares, and then I think 1 triple common. So not bad, not a bad strategy. A little more cerebral, which I do kind of intend to enjoy. But yeah, I'll finish the other 3 after I do some champion training over the next day in a few hours. So that will probably not be in a video unless I do happen to get like the 3 epics in a row. Maybe I'll post a screenshot on my community tab or something. So yeah, that's going to do it for the Deck of Fate as well as the 2x Primals. And honestly, that's just going to do it for the entire video. Let me just scroll down here just to remind myself that this actually did happen, and we did manage to get 3 mythicals and 45 primal shards. So yeah, pinch me, I'm not dreaming. And yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Be sure to let me know in the comment section if you had any smidge of the luck that I experienced today. I'd love for you guys to get lucky as well, not just myself. So let me know if you got any mythicals from your primal pulls, if you were pulling any primals in this session for the Deck of Fate and the true Primal 2X. And once again, I do want to thank all of you again, my lovely viewers and subscribers, for getting me over at 1,000 and into the YouTube Partner Program. I cannot overstate how much I do appreciate all of the support. Now, one other thing I would be interested in is a Q&A type video or an AMA type video where you guys can just ask questions. Leave them in the comment of this video if you guys want to make that happen. If I do get enough questions, then I will make a dedicated separate video just answering some of you guys' questions. It could be about raid, could be about progression, it could be about me as a person, whatever you guys want to know. Leave it in the comment section down below and we'll see if we get enough to make that into a video in the future. And as always, if you did enjoy the video, then be sure to hit that like button down below and feel free to subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching and have a good one.